Liamuiga Agricultural Cooperative Society will host a family fundraiser this Saturday, the 24th of September, in support of the Baptiste family. Here to tell us about it are Telca Daniel-Wallace, representing the Society, and Leah Baptiste, a member of the Baptiste family. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning SKN, ladies.
Good morning, and thank you for having us.
Definitely our pleasure. All right, so Mrs. Wallace, I'd like to know, first of all, why did the Cooperative Society decide to host this event?
The Lakers, for short, we have decided to assist the Baptiste family because the father, Stanley Baptiste, has been a founding member of the Liamuiga Agricultural Cooperative Society and one of our main farmers. And so when he became incapacitated, we tried to assist the family in many ways because he was the mainstay of the family. But at the end of the trying to assist him, because he lost his leg last year, and then in the middle of trying to assist him, then his daughter came down with kidney failure.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we had to basically look at other ways, and this is just a short-term solution where we have this event, but we have to look at longer-term solution to this, to address the way forward, because when families are in crisis, you cannot just leave them like that when they have been an integral part of our society. Yes.
Really, that's a great cause indeed, Telca, so thank you so much. So Leah, enlighten us about some of the difficulties that your family is facing right now.
We're facing like paying bills, buying food. Also, I'm facing a lot of challenge by supporting my own self. Although I have 2 children, helping out my mom with my dad sometimes, and also helping her with my children. It's tough. It is tough. It's tough.
No, I would imagine, but and I can only imagine what you and your family are going to, but I know that it must be some comfort to you to know that Lakis is looking out for you as much as possible.
Yes, she is. She's doing a nice job.
Thank you.
So Telca, how do you feel to hear that you're doing a good job?
Well, I would like the world to be without pain, but that is not possible. Yeah. We live in a world where we get shocks. And my background is disaster management, risk management, and we get all of these shocks. We get it at the national, world, as we saw in COVID. I mean, when a family is impacted, it's even worse, because Leah spoke about having challenges with paying bills, having challenges with just getting basic stuff. But she didn't speak about the fact that she has to go to dialysis.
Yes.
Which is life-changing.
And that is 3 times a day, a week.
A week she has to go to dialysis.
And I have to at least have $400 every session. Yes, and it's very hard.
Yes.
And also, I'm a person that live by myself, paying rent too. So that's where the challenge come between. And also looking after my children, my 2 children. Yes, it's really a challenge, but I'm trying to fight. As people tell me, don't think about kidney failure, which I am not doing it. I'm strong. I'm showing them that I could talk about it to anybody, my experience. But to sit down and worry myself, it does not make no sense, because I'm putting on myself, which I could live longer by helping other people about it.
That's so noble of you, and I can sense your strength coming through, quite honestly. So thank you for that.
I am.
Mrs. Wallace, is this the first time that Lakis has assisted family members or families in this way?
No. But usually it's just a little 200 here, 200 there, vegetables. But this is the first time that we have had to go, because we have had members who have fallen on hard times. And of course, the society, we would come together and decide how we would address the situation. But this is way out of our league, because Lakers is a farmer's crop, and farmer's crop in St. Kitts and Nevis are not doing great. We, a lot of times, especially during COVID, remember during COVID, farmers were not considered as essential workers. So we lost a lot of our crops during that period, because when you're not able to go to the farm, etc., you can't water your plants, you can't take care of them. And so many of the farmers, including us, we lost a lot of our crops during that period. And so persons who were dependent on the income, at the end of the day, it wasn't forthcoming. And so we had to dig deep to assist where we could.
It's a ripple effect, it seems.
Yes.
It's a ripple effect.
The families are vulnerable. And one of the things coming out of this experience with Leah and her family is that we see on the internet every day of people trying to get assistance for health reasons, serious health reasons, because nobody knows what will happen to them.
Indeed, you're correct.
And one of the things that we are saying to families, it seems expensive to get health insurance, but nothing is more expensive than if you do not have it.
Yes.
It seems very expensive. I lived in North America for a while, and that is one of the things I learned from living in North America. Always transfer the risk. You have insurance, you pay through your nose to get the insurance, but at the end of the day, you may not get ill, but if you get ill, you have. And even with insurance companies paying 80% and you're paying 20%, it can still devastate the family. Yeah. As long as you have an illness, it becomes a national thing, because especially if it's prolonged. And we are calling on persons who have kind heart and would like to make a little sacrifice and contribute something to the family. Because the fund is just, as I say, a drop in the bucket. We're looking at a way to raise funds. And Kizzy, one of the cooperative persons who work at the cooperative, came up with the idea of doing some fundraisers. Okay. I personally do not like to do fundraisers because it takes a lot of resources to do a fundraiser. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who came forward. I can't remember everyone, but I'm going to say the credit union, I'm going to say Development Bank, National Bank, National Insurance, Builders Paradise, and we have like Gideon Farm, another farming co-op who contributed. Okay. We have individuals who have contributed. We have Rams, Coolies, Wholesale, and we have the games, a lady who's just starting a games business. I can't remember the name of it, okay. But she is lending us some children games, some big games that when children come there, they can have a good time. Okay. And we wanted to make it a family thing because the Baptist family is a close-knit family. The father, the mother, everybody is there for each other. And a family event to bring families together, to have fun together, some saying to the general public, come out and enjoy yourself. As a family, we are going to have all kinds of things there.
Is there an admission fee?
$5.
$5, okay.
I mean, but you can give more if you have it.
And the location, very quickly.
It's Maynard's Park in Keyon.
Maynard's Park in Keyon.
And we're having all kinds of food, local food, mackerel and dumpling and saltfish and tree mutton. We're having black pudding, sauce, bullfoot, all kinds of things.
And sugar cake.
Sugar cake is out of the shell.
Sugar cake.
And cassava bread.
So Telca, can you tell us when was this society started?
Well, it was conceptualized way back in 2000.
Okay.
And then it was officially formed like in 2007. The Liamuiga Agricultural Cooperative Society is one of the first co-ops if not the first COP that was formed in the Federation.
All right.
Yes.
So why was it important to establish a cooperative?
The concept of cooperatives is the best concept for social and economical development. I traveled to Japan in 2002, and I visited one of the cooperative headquarters, and it was phenomenal. They have system within that cooperative to take you from the cradle to the grave. They take care of your health, your wealth, and family and everything. So at the end of the day, that is the concept of cooperative, because we are cooperating with each other. And the cooperative society, look, we are farmers, but then they have the banking cooperatives. And it seeks to assist persons or the country in moving the poor from one level to the next. And if you are a farmer and you're cooperative, I think Gideon Force is one of the best cooperatives I've seen, even though we are okay, they are the best model for cooperatives, because if you ever visit their farm, they are very well structured, their workers work consistently, they have a good management system in place. We work as well, but they are younger co-op in age and strength than ours. So right now we are trying to get younger persons to come and stream. This is the time of the youth because even we have a lot of older members who don't have the physical agility that they used to have. And so the concept of the cooperative is developing wealth from one generation to the next. Because when you become part of a cooperative, you have shares in that corporation, and you can pass it on to your family, to whoever you want to give it to, if you're no longer alive or whatever the case is. So the cooperative is, I would support and I would encourage everyone to become part of the co-op, because even if you work in government and you're accustomed to getting a particular salary, when you retire, if you are pensionable, you perhaps get a quarter of what you normally work for. And so becoming a part of a cooperative where you can eat healthier because you have vegetables, everything at your disposal, you get to work the ground, like you could go in for an hour or 2 hours in a week and do your part, because we say everybody has to contribute. And so you determine if you're going to go and spend, how much hours you're going to spend. And we determine at the executive what we are going to plant and what it will take to get it from this stage to market.
All right. Question for you concerning food security and sustainable development. All right, sustainable development goal number 2, which is zero hunger. How do you think your cooperative or cooperatives in general, farmers cooperatives, address this goal? Have you been meeting it?
That is a very good question. As part of the cooperatives seek to, in our case and in many of the other crops, we grow organic food. We do not put chemical in our soil. That's the first thing. And in terms of food security, health is the first pillar of food security. And so when you do not put fertilizer and everything in your soil, and you have consistent food to put on the market, and we at Lakers, we sell our food at a very low cost. So the average person can buy a pound of potatoes, sweet potatoes from us for $2. And I can say Lakers have the best sweet potatoes in the Western Hemisphere. We do. Yes. And so in terms of the hunger, and in terms of climate change, any society have to support food security. The Ministry of Agriculture and cooperatives have to give more to cooperatives, because all over the world, farmers are being subsidized. And no one again will get something, but it is not enough to move us to a professional level. Because what we want to do, and what we have to do, is to look at the history of whatever crop you're doing. Like you plant a crop, you have to say the date, you have to document everything that you do to that plant, so that you can see, okay, we got this quality of crop from this batch of plants. And so then you are able to know exactly what you need to put in the soil. What should I have done better? What should I have put in more of? Because remember, we're trying to go organic, so we don't want to put any chemicals. And so we have to find other ways and means of fertilizing the crops and of getting the best quality.
So you mentioned needing younger blood in your association. So you can look into that camera and let them know how they can contact you and join your association.
Yes, well, I am pleased to say that over the past 2 months, we have had assistance from STEP to young men. We are working with us now, and we have 2 other ones who came on to sign up. But we are telling young people, the soil is the way to go. Farming is the way to go. Food security is the way to go. Even if you go to the supermarket, every time you go to the supermarket, a lot of times the shelves are empty. And so, because a lot of our food coming from outside, so we have to find a way to support ourselves locally. And we have the land, and our land is fertile. And young people, this is your heritage. The soil of St. Kitts and Nevis is your heritage. And there is beauty in reaping your own food, in putting your own food on the table. There is beauty. There's nothing more beautiful than that. And I would encourage young persons. There are some persons who have become millionaires from farming. And you can become a millionaire from farming. And I would encourage you to sign up with Lakers. Or if there's another co-op in your community, Lakers is in Keyon and Green Valley, go back. But if you're in Sandy Point, for example, you have SPACs. You have, in the Old World, we have Gideon Farm. Or if you are interested in agro-processing, like value-added products, you can join the agro-processors. So there are a lot of cooperatives that you can join. And even if you're working in another job, you can say, well, on Sunday morning, I will go to the farm and put in a couple of hours. Places like Cuba and so on, Cuba would encourage persons to come in and help them get the farming experience.
Okay.
So we were also recently given permission to use an old building in Cape, to the back of the clinic that has been abandoned for more than 50 years. So we asked for that property to be leased to us, for us to fix it up and use it, because it's right there by the clinic. And we want to be able to serve the community of Keyon and surrounding areas by, when you come to the health center, whether you come for diabetic clinic, hypertensive clinic, bring your children to get antenatal. If you go antenatal, wherever you go, you just step up to the Lakers outlet and get farm products at a low cost.
Lovely.
So that is the future of Lakers.
Lovely.
And also to make sure that our members are well taken care of.